Hey everybody, welcome back to Champnsons and our PGA Tour 2K21 series following Bubba Champion. And in this episode, we are in the Waste Management Tournament at Phoenix, which actually just wrapped up on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a big time tournament for us. It's got hole number 16, par 3. One of the loudest holes of all of golf, with the exception of maybe any 18th hole that Tiger Woods was on in his prime time, making his winning putts and all that. But this is going to be a tough matchup for us today. It is not going to be something easy. We're not going to be able to just run away with this. We are starting out the day in a position to be able to make a run, right? So we are, right there at 25 under. We're 4 back from Tony Finau, ahead of DeChambeau by 2. Justin Thomas is in at 4th at 22 under. Then Justin Rose and Ian Poulter both at 21 under. Basically everybody nipping at our heels because that will round out the top 5. Now, 4 strokes back. It's not something that is insurmountable. We can definitely overcome it. It's just that we're going to need to play about a perfect day as we can. And these greens here in Phoenix have given us some issues with putting. As long as the weather is pretty decent, we can set ourselves up. But we are going to have to play a nearly perfect round today. And this is at TPC Scottsdale in Phoenix, a basically 7,200 yard par 72 course. Here, and we're going to start out on hole number 1 in second place at 25 under. And this is going to be about a 390 yard par 4. We're not at a hitting strength where we can, crank it onto the green at 390, but we can set ourselves up just like we did right down the middle with a nice pitch shot into the pin, sitting at about 81 yards away. Now, as you notice, the wind is pretty much non-existent today, so that is definitely going to help us out. But look at the slopes on these greens. One bad bounce can make all the difference in where we stand. And this, our first hole, the second shot, we basically, hit that one fat, chili dipper. We needed 81 yards, and we got it about 60. So not quite what we were needing, but at least we can play this one a little bit smart and just chip it up next to the hole and try to walk out of this one with a par to start the day out. And that's exactly what we're going to be able to do, is put a nice little shot on it. Our play from around the green has been pretty decent. That one, within a couple feet, easy tap in for the par, remaining at 25 under. I don't really need to concern myself with trying to chase down Finau, who's now increased his lead to 5 strokes as he's at 30 under. I really want to try to maintain my focus at keeping off DeChambeau, fighting him off from catching up. And if I can just play well enough, I think I can put together the round needed to catch up to Finau and possibly overtake him. And that drive, we got a little bit of a lucky bounce. We kind of went right there on the edge of that trap. Thankfully, it went our way, so we are going to be in the fairway. Now, taking a look at hole number 4 a little bit earlier. This is going to be Ian Poulter. He is our rival that we have going on right now. He's at 1 under for the day, trying to hit out of the bunker for par. He's going to knock that one in. A lucky save for him, keeping him at 1 under after he birdied the first hole. And now has made 3 straight pars. Kind of a lucky par right there, but it is what it is at this point. So our second shot, we are 95 yards out. This one does not have too much slope on it. But the pin is kind of nestled into a little corner where we don't have a whole lot of space. So we got to be careful with how we hit that. And we are going to hit a nice little pitch. I just needed to catch and stop right about there. Thankfully it did. So we do have a decent birdie opportunity, sitting at about 13 feet away. It is a right to left break. And judging this is a little bit more difficult than we've had problems with it, and that one's going to be an example of it. Didn't put enough on it. We've done that multiple times throughout this tournament, failing to, I wouldn't say read the green improperly or failing to read the green properly, just not putting enough on it. I knew where it was going. I just didn't want to overplay my hand, and in that sense, basically underplayed it and didn't put enough. So we are still maintaining second place by 2 strokes. We are still trailing Finau by 5. So we have not caught up at all, but we haven't dropped either. And that's going to be a big thing. Needing to just at least maintain, this being back by 5 and work to slowly decrease that lead that Finau has. And that drive is going to be beautiful. We have been hitting our driver perfectly. And this par 5 is an example of that and how we can, make up strokes for us. So we are only about 221 yards out from the green on the second shot of a par 5. Middle of the fairway. Pretty good lie. So I am going to go for it here. I do push it to the right on that swing, and it hits off into the trap. That is okay. The bunkers are not the best thing to be in, but they're obviously not the worst. As long as I can avoid that ridge that you see right there in that dark red, we should be good to go. And it's going to hit, and I do nail that ridge. Poor shot on my part, right at the pin. So good aim, but overall poor shot, leaving us with about 31 feet up a steep hill before we get to that pin. So we give it a pretty good ride. And that thing is tracking right at the pin. And it's going to drop. What a putt that was. That is how you save birdie right there. Draining the 31-footer up the slope. Thankfully, it was pretty much straight on. But that is what we need. And we're going to need more putts to drop for us. And that is definitely worth a second look. As you see it going right at the pin. Could not ask for better. That is how we need a rebound after that par on the first hole. So see what I mean? Now we maintained our 2-stroke lead over DeChambeau, but we've cut down Finau's lead to 4. And just work this slowly. Be patient. Just make up these strokes. That's all we got to do. And so the fourth hole is going to be a 191-yard par 3, which I hate because it's kind of in between my clubs that I have with my 5-iron and my 3-iron. Need to work on finding something to get me right into that sweet spot right there. But we are going to give it a pretty good whack with the 5, hoping that it lands and rolls. And it will roll, just not the way we needed it to. But, hey, we are on the putting surface. That's what matters. With a birdie opportunity, as it has some fairly steep right or left to right break. And it's pretty consistent. So this one is always going to be a little bit more difficult to judge. And we just don't put enough on it. The consistency of that break is what made it so hard. It wasn't a sudden one. It was pretty much all the way through. So we do leave ourselves a 4-footer for par that we're going to be able to drop that one right in center cup, maintaining 1 under for the day and 26 under for the tournament. Now Finau, after that missed putt by us, Finau expands his lead back to 5 strokes again. So coming into the 5th hole, we have a 460-yard par 4. And as you notice, these fairways are fairly wide open. There are bunkers on the sides for most of them, but it's wide open enough that it gives us a lot of room to play with there. And we're going to blast that one, flying at about 300 yards and getting them close to 30 yards a roll, hitting at about 330 on this par 4, leaving us with 133 in. And like this green that doesn't have too much slope on it, but look at that pin position. It's 133 yards out. Our setup's not the smoothest with where we are in the fairway. So that ball does come off a little bit further to the left than what I was needing it to. But it turns out it works out in our favor. We're able to plop that one right down and leave us with about 5 foot for birdie. A little bit of right to left break. Nothing that's too difficult. Just got to hit it proper. And we're going to drop that one in 2 under on the day, taking a advantage and not missing our opportunities. That is what we need to do. Unfortunately, so does Finau, and apparently so does DeChambeau, as he's now at 26 under. Justin Rose at 25 under, nipping at our heels as we try to chase down Finau. Now the 6th hole is going to be another par 4. It is sitting at about 420 yards on this one. Now we're going to put a little bit of draw to try to shape this ball out between these bunkers and see if we can't get a pretty good bounce. But it kicks off to the right. Just hold. Oh, God dang it. Fairway bunker. Not where you want to be. That is definitely not the spot. And this pin position, I shouldn't be going for it. I really want to. But the smart play would be to not go for this thing with where I'm at. and it's semi-buried in. We just have an 8-iron. And we're going to give it a go anyways. And not surprisingly, we go from beach to beach as we hit into the bunker right in front of basically the pin side green. And so now we got another little hard shot, but hopefully we can get this one to stop up. And that's going to nestle down nicely for a par putt. 6 feet. The break is not too terrible right here. So, once again, yeah, we messed up. We missed an opportunity, especially coming off the tee box there. Should have played it smarter, but we did at least save par. Now, DeChambeau actually took second place from us. He is on a freaking tear as he's now at 28 under. So he started the day, 23 under, I think? So he's already 5 under through 7 holes. That is ridiculous. And we're now coming up to the 7th hole, which is a par 3 right in the middle of our distance again. It's 223 yards to the pin. A 5-wood's going to roll too much. A 3-iron I know is going to roll. Put on some pretty decent power. I just need it to kick proper, and it kind of does. So that's about as good as I can expect. Just put us on the surface, leaving us about 45 feet away from the pin. The break, it breaks both ways, honestly. It starts out left to right, but ends around the pin right to left. So just try to balance those two bad boys out and give it a whack. And we're going to roll that ball right up next to it, 44, excuse me. Not that bad of a putt. I will definitely take that putt any day of the week. We do drop the par. That was a lot scarier than what I was hoping it would be. But we are still at 27 under for the tournament. Trailing DeChambeau now by 1 stroke and Tony Finau by 6. We are in 3rd place. Need to stop this dropping quickly. So the 8th hole, par 4, and we're going to be able to blast that one. Good power on it. Beautiful swing right down the middle as that ball bounces perfectly and nestles down nicely for us. And that's going to allow us about 150 yards into the pin. And with no wind, this is a pin I think we can really attack. We just got to do it properly with the 8-iron because that ball is going to bounce and has potential to roll. So we give it 90 cents, a little harder than what I wanted, and we did pull it some. It's not where I wanted it to go, obviously, but it's workable. It is definitely workable. I think we can agree on that. So 24 feet, left to right break. It's a makeable putt. It's just not the easiest putt in the world. We got a good run going at it. Look at that. Go! God dang it. Right past the edge. Just not enough on it. And that's been happening to us too much lately. Just barely. One more little tappy to the side would have had that birdie putt. But we remain at 27 under. DeChambeau still at 28. Tony Finau is now at 34 under for the round. We're halfway through this thing. I don't see us catching Finau. I just have to retake my 2nd place from Mr. DeChambeau. So coming into the 9th hole, beautiful drive. I do kind of push it some to the right, which skirts the edge of that bunker. But that does leave us a good 2nd shot into the pin. Still want to be careful with that bunker right there in front. But I think even if we get in danger, we can always bounce back from that. And our 2nd shot, got lucky there, but it does stop up and give us a pretty decent birdie opportunity from about 13 feet away. So if we can get this, get going and make some space, catch up to DeChambeau, and we're going to drop that one in from 13 feet. Beautiful stroke on that putt. That puts us at 3 under for the round, or for the front 9. So 32 on the front 9, and DeChambeau, you bum, as he moves down to 29 under and continues to try to push away from us. I cannot allow that to happen. On the 10th hole, we got ourselves a par 4. And this one does have, obviously, some dogleg to the right, so we will have to be careful with it. It is only 403 yards, but it's not something where I feel like I can cut anything short. So we do play some fade and try to shape out this fairway. I just need that ball to hold on, and it's just barely going to get there. Good drive, 325 yards, almost in the rough, but still in the short stuff. So I will take that. Our 2nd shot, we got about 108 yards. Going to be looking at taking an 8-iron. and just doing a pitch up to it. If we can get this to check up and land proper, we should be good for a bird dog. And it's not going to check up. It's going to keep rolling. So, unfortunate, but, 21 feet away. Once again, a makeable putt. It's just harder than what we needed it to be. We have put ourselves in this position too much today. All right, give it a good roll. I kind of pull that putt a little bit, and that's going to not matter because we will drain it center cup. Pulling it helped work us with that break as we drop it and get another birdie in and move to 29 under, tied for second place. Once again, we're only 5 back from Finau. We got about 8 holes left. This is not an impossible feat to happen. The back 9 has been where we've been making our moves all tournament. So this has got some serious potential. 11th hole, par 4. Beast mode, that driver. Goodness gracious. God, I love the views of the course. As you see, they show the ball flight path. But you get to see the surrounding course. That just looks beautiful. 2K did a great job on this one. So our second shot now is going to be about 136 yards. Once again, wind is not a factor. Looking at a 9-iron. I need to be careful with it because I don't want to go short into that bunker, but at the same time, if I want a true birdie opportunity, I can't go too long with it. Do fly the pin, and that's going to roll just a little bit. So we do have a birdie shot, but once again, we're at 24 feet, 25 feet, and we have another left to right break. This is not an easy green for these tournaments. This one has been a little bit more difficult for us all afternoon. So we give it a good stroke, and it's got potential, and it just veers off. Are you kidding me? I thought we had it. It's going to veer off and just stop right next to the pin, leaving it for a tap in for par. So remaining at 29 under for the round. Still in second place, tied with Justin Rose now and Bryson DeChambeau. So I need to get my separation from them. That's what I got to let be my focus. Chasing down Finau just probably ain't going to happen right now. So I really just need to keep one thing on my mind at a time. All right, so par 3, 12th hole, 193 yards. Once again, right in that mid spot between my irons. I hate this type of shot. But I do need my 5-iron to roll. So really, I'm just aiming for the putting surface right now. I don't want to, put myself in a position where I can't recover and I drop a stroke. And that one is going to go right where I needed it. Boom, right in the middle of the green. And it actually rolls to a pretty good spot. Basically hole high on the green as a, in its entirety. So we do have 19 feet, but this is a very makeable birdie putt on the 12th hole. Give it a good stroke. And I pulled it to the left. You've got to be kidding me. Missed opportunity after missed opportunity so far in this 4th round. That's not what I need to have happen. 29 under. Fingers crossed we stayed at second, but instead we're tied for 4th as Rose is now at 31 and Justin Thomas is at 30 under. Granted, they're ahead of me in this tournament, so I have time to make that up, but you've got to be kidding me. And here comes one of the prime opportunities. 13, par 5. As we hit a beautiful drive right down the middle. As the old saying goes, we let the big doggy at 325 yards. This is definitely reachable. All right, so we're 220 yards out. Now, I can go a little bit long, I think, and be safe. If anything, it'll roll off, and I could probably have a pretty decent, little pitch back, which is kind of what I'm aiming for here. So this has got serious opportunity. Our 5-wood's going to land, and it's going to keep rolling a little bit. Hey, we're on the surface. This is an eagle opportunity. I'll take it any day I can get an opportunity to putt for an eagle. Yeah, it is a little bit harder, 44 feet, left to right break. Trying to put the right little touchy touch on it. We're going to send it towards the hole. That's got a chance. Ooh, right on the right edge. You got to be kidding me. It's all right. 4 foot coming back at you for birdie. So we give it the little tapper, little tapperooski in for the birdie. Now at 30 under. Hopefully we made up some space and everybody else hasn't continued to make their push. And no, they didn't. So now we're tied with Justin Thomas in 3rd place. Justin Rose is still at 31 under, and Finau is still kicking everybody's keister right now. All right, so 14th hole is a par 4, about 490 yards. Driver's what we take. We don't really do anything other than a driver off the tee. Why would you? All right? People don't pay to see us lay up, you know. They pay to see us go for it. That's why we're professionals, for God's sakes. And that one is going to be beautifully in the middle of the fairway. So our second shot, 183 yards out. It is a little up. So instead of increasing my iron, I'm going to let this kind of land a little bit softer because 5-iron tends to roll quite a bit, especially when landing on a green. And that's a beautiful little stroke that we needed. And I think this might be pretty dang good. Ooh, get in the hole. It's going to roll right past it. Ooh, that was about as perfect as I could ask for. Yeah, just stare it down. You nod, Bubba. You nod, good sir. So 4 foot, little tap in for you, birdie. 30 under for the tournament. Let's see if we can't get this bird dog hunting. And it does. Right in the center cup. 3 under on this side. So we're 6 under for the day at 31 for the tournament. And now we've moved solely into third place. Justin Rose is 32 under, but he's through 16. So he's in second. That's really what I'm gunning for at this point. Number 15 is going to be a par 5. This has got definite birdie opportunity written all over it, maybe even eagle, depending on where we can get this ball to stop. As it will bounce and it will get some good roll, 325 yards off the tee. Sets us up beautifully at 220 yards away. Now, did you see, look at all the dark red on the backside of the green. So if I hit it there, that ball is going to go rolling, and there are some steep hills leading into water. So I do take the safer route. I am going to go with my iron. I do think I can get some good roll and get that thing to bounce onto the green, but instead it goes onto the beach. You've got to be kidding me. All right, still trying to fool with me. Are you 2K? All right, so our third shot coming out of the bunker here. And this is going to be a tough one. Get it? It's going to be in the hole. It is in the hole. Beautiful chip in on that one. That is the eagle that we needed. And with that one, we are right back into this tournament here. Coming down to crunch time. That eagle gives us a good lift that we're needing. And let's take a look at that one again. Beautiful shot. Right at the pin. Could not ask for better. Here it comes, hole number 16, arguably the loudest hole in all of golf. 3 holes remaining. We're only 4 strokes back. So if we can get Finau to kind of screw up, it'll give us a good chance. 168 yards from the pin. Oh, this is kind of tough. I'm going to take my 7-iron, put a little bit of loft on it because I don't want it to roll too much. And here we go. Let's listen to this crowd. Gonna land center of the green. Beautiful shot. Oh man, I just love that sound from that crowd. You just gotta love that one. Let's take a look at what's going on the 18th hole. Who's this? Ian Poulter. 4 under on the day. Trying to chip in for birdie. Nope, not today. No bird dog for you, Poulter. As he will just end up at 4 under for the day. Nowhere threatening to me at all. All right, so we have not birdied this hole all tournament. This is probably our best chance. We have 13 feet away, right to left break. Let's see if we can't give this one a good solid run at it. It's a good stroke. Oh! It's just, oh God, that's disappointing. So disappointing. Knock it in. Listen to everybody. Yeah, gotta love it. Got to love that crowd sound. All right, 33 under, 4 strokes back, 2 holes to go. Justin Rose should be finishing up right now, so hopefully he's not going to be too much of a threat to our second place finish, as long as we don't screw up. 17th is a drivable par 4, so we're going to give it a go. Let's see what we can do. This is final round. This is not some time to hold back. Get that ball a-rolling. Rolling, and it stops in the middle of the green. All right, that's okay. Another eagle opportunity. Eagle, we're tied. Okay? Granted, we're 75 feet away, and this is, once again, breaking to both sides all the way throughout. Had to give it a hard-ass putt. Jesus. That ball is going to go... that's about as best I can ask for. 75 feet. To drop it in from there would have been amazing. But to roll it up to within just 3 feet. Let's take our birdie and let's walk out of here. Escaping 17. And we come down to the final 18th hole here in second place at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. 2 strokes behind Finau. So he dropped one there. And if we can get him to, hit in the water, who knows what can happen at this point. We may be able to get him to hit a double bogey and we get tied up if we can just par it. Or if he drops one shot and we get a birdie, and we should have a definite birdie opportunity coming off that drive. My God, that was beautiful to see happen. That ball just flying through the air. As that puts us 130 yards away from the pin. We are looking at our gap wedge. I'm not going to get too much roll, but I don't want to increase my club because that will definitely then be too much. So we give it a pretty good whack. I do add a little extra power to it. Just give me an opportunity for birdie. That's what I ask of you. You give me this birdie opportunity like we got. And Finau drops one. This could be, match-changing putt right here. And it's not a gimme at all. It's got some steep left-to-right break at about 20 feet away. We give it a good solid stroke. It's tracking there. Just not, it's still a bit too much. Didn't play it enough actually, and so we will give her a little tap in for par. 34 under. We will finish in second place here at the Waste Management Open. That's a good finish. From where we started, it's about where we finished, so it can't really ask for more than that. Now, going forward in this series, I'm probably not going to show every tournament. Definitely, I've got a points position enough to where I'm probably going to actually simulate some or withdraw from some so we can get through the season a little quicker and kind of hit some of the majors coming up. I know the Players' Championship is only a couple tournaments away, so we'll see what we can do to try to get advanced to that one a little bit quicker. So 34 under here at the Waste Management Phoenix Open for second place. And as I said, I will see y'all in the next episode where we will probably be at the Players Championship, everybody. So stay tuned for that one. As always, hit the subscribe button if you have not already, and hit the little thumbs up button if you did like today's video. And I will see y'all in the next one. So stay safe, and, well, you know how it goes. Later, y'all.